Hey there, I'm Luke. In today's episode, we're going to focus on the differences between a 504 plan and an IEP or Individualized Education Plan. Specifically, we will focus on the following four aspects. Number one, laws governing each of these legal documents. Number two, the eligibility process. Number three, the accommodations that are given with each. And number four, differences between the two documents after high school. All of this and so much more on today's episode of Special Education Decoded. All right, before we discuss the differences between 504 plans and IEPs, I'm hoping you can help. On the bottom right-hand side of your screen, you will see a little logo with the word subscribe on it. Click that real quick. Thank you so much. Let's dive in and help shed some light on a couple more special education acronyms, the 504 plan and the IEP. Let's start by defining the two terms we'll be discussing. First, the 504 plan. A 504 is a plan that is developed to help ensure that a child who has a disability identified under the law receives accommodations or modifications. In simple terms, the 504 plan is a blueprint for how the school will provide support for children with a disability, remove barriers often found in a school system. Now, an IEP or Individualized Education Plan is a plan or program developed to ensure that a child who has a disability identified under the law receives specialized instruction, accommodations, and other related services. Now that we have defined both the 504 plan and the IEP, let's talk about the laws governing each and how these plans were established. Section 1, laws governing the 504 plan and the IEP. Now, the 504 plan is directly pulled from Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. This section specifically pertains to the federal civil rights law, which halted discrimination against people with disabilities. Next, let's discuss the laws pertaining to an IEP or Individualized Education Plan. Most everything pertaining to an IEP can be found in IDEA, or the Individuals with Disabilities Education Act. IDEA is a federal education law for children with disabilities. Lots of information is found within IDEA, including FAPE, or Free Appropriate Public Education. You can find more about this important acronym in our video, specifically about FAPE. Next, let's discuss the eligibility children need for both the 504 plan and an IEP. Starting with the 504 plan. Now, a 504 plan is available for a child with any disability that interferes with their ability to learn in a general education classroom. The 504 plan includes a very broad definition of disability. Next, let's discuss the eligibility requirements for an IEP or Individualized Education Plan. To be eligible for an IEP, a child must have one or more of 13 disabilities, including specific learning disability or SLD, other health impairment, autism spectrum disorder or ASD, emotional disturbance, speech or language impairment, visual impairment, which includes blindness, deafness, hearing impairment, deaf blindness, orthopedic impairment, intellectual disability, traumatic brain injury, multiple disabilities. The disability must affect the child's education performance. In other words, an eligible child must need specialized instruction to make progress in school. Next, let's discuss the accommodations that are available for both the 504 plan and an IEP. The 504 plan is primarily used when children can function well in regular education classrooms. In other words, when academics aren't a major concern and special ed instruction is not needed, that's when a 504 plan is best. And we're going to discuss more about that in a moment. Accommodations in the 504 plan could include social skills assistance, additional time and less distracting environments for tests, physical breaks, or preferential seating. Accommodations are less restrictive than in an IEP. And, as I stated earlier, they do not include specialized instructions. Next, let's cover accommodations for an IEP, or Individualized Education Plan. Now, they're similar to a 504, but include one large difference. In other words, accommodations for an IEP include the same accommodations as a 504 plan, and an IEP does include specialized instructions. Now, examples include a self-contained classroom option, or different therapy options are also available. The last large difference between a 504 plan and an IEP is what takes place after high school. The 504 plan actually continues after high school. It can continue into the college years. However, at this stage, the plan will no longer be called a 504 plan. However, these children, or actually young adults, are still covered under Section 504 of the Rehabilitation Act. The precise accommodations provided are dependent upon the college in that case. For an IEP, however, services stop after high school graduation. Now, if a child takes longer to graduate, services will stop at age 22, regardless of whether or not a diploma has been received. Now, keep in mind, a child can transition back to a 504 plan type program and will receive similar accommodations as we've discussed under that plan. That sums up the difference between a 504 and an IEP. I truly hope this video helped you understand more about 504 plans, or at the very least, opens your eyes to ask more questions for your child. Now, we've covered many different aspects of an IEP in other videos. So if you do have questions specifically geared toward that document or even the process, please be sure to check out our IEP playlist. If you like what you saw in this video, please consider subscribing to our channel. If you have any suggestions on what you'd like to see in a video topic, or even additional questions surrounding the 504 plan, please leave a comment. Lastly, if you're looking for more one-on-one help through the IEP process, please be sure to fill out a consultation request. You'll find the link in the description. It's 100% free to start, but can truly make a massive impact on the type of service your child will receive. We absolutely love interacting with our incredible community and strive to help simplify the crazy world of special education. From all of us at specialedresource.com, thank you for watching this episode of Special Education Decoded. We'll catch you in the next video.